Moltbot, formerly ClawdBot. Moltbot is a self-hosted AI agent designed to act as a 24/7 personal assistant. The name change. Originally launched as ClawdBot, the project was rebranded to Moltbot on January 27, 2026, following trademark concerns from Anthropic, the makers of Claude. Key features. It runs locally on your machine, macOS, Windows, Linux, and can perform active tasks like managing calendars, sending messages, WhatsApp, Slack, Telegram, and controlling web browser. Today we're going to explore a massive shift happening in the world of artificial intelligence. We are moving from the era of the chatbot, simple tools we visit on a website, to the era of the digital butler. This is your guide to understanding the transition from passive AI to proactive, autonomous agents. Let's start with where we are right now. We call this the librarian at the desk model. Whether you use ChatGPT or the Claude Web Interface, the experience is powerful, but it's trapped. Just like a librarian, the AI sits behind a desk, waiting for you. It never speaks unless spoken to, it can't leave the browser window, and while it has a lot of knowledge, it has zero context about your actual life. It is purely reactive. Now let's look at the new standard, Agentic AI, represented here by ClawdBot. Imagine a butler living inside your home. This agent doesn't just sit at a desk, it moves freely. It walks around your digital house, your computer. It can open drawers, your files, and it initiates tasks on its own. It's proactive, integrated into your personal apps, and action-oriented. It doesn't just talk, it does things. To understand how an agent works, we're going to use the architecture of a lobster. It sounds funny, but it's a perfect way to break down the 4 biological components of an autonomous agent. The brain for intelligence, the hands for taking action, the memory for storage, and the voice for communication. Let's look at each one. First is the brain. In this model, the AI doesn't actually think on your laptop. It uses rented intelligence via an API, in this case, Claude 3.5 Sonnet. It streams thoughts over the internet. This changes the cost model too. Instead of a flat monthly subscription, think of it like a prepaid debit card. You pay per thought, costing fractions of a penny for every request. Next, we have the hands. This is where we break the browser barrier. Standard AI is read-only. It can only look. ClawdBot has terminal access. This means it can create files, delete folders, write code, run that code, and browse the web autonomously. It moves from simply generating text to executing commands. Then there is the memory. We call this local sovereignty. Web chats usually forget details once you close the tab. ClawdBot, however, writes text files directly to your hard drive. This offers permanence and privacy. If you tell it your daughter's birthday is June 4th, it saves that as a file, not a variable in the cloud. As long as you have that file, the agent has that memory. Finally, the voice. This is a major interface shift. You don't visit a URL anymore. The AI lives in your contact list, right alongside your mom or your work group, inside apps like iMessage or Discord. It makes the interaction mobile-first and fluid. It feels less like using a tool, and more like texting a colleague. So, what does this look like in practice? Let's look at the friction of the standard passive workflow. You log into a browser, you type a prompt, the AI asks for context, you manually dump in files, and finally, you get an answer. It is reactive, manual, and, frankly, a bit tedious. Compare that to the proactive workflow of a digital butler. You go to sleep at 11 p.m. While you sleep, the agent activates at 7 a.m. It reads your calendar, scans your local files, and synthesizes your emails. When you wake up at 8 a.m., you have a notification waiting for you with a summary of your day. It is anticipatory, automated, and feels magical. Why is the tech world so obsessed with this? 3 reasons. First, privacy. You own your data as local text files. Second, productivity. We call this God mode. The agent can code and fix errors in a loop while you sleep. And third, agency. There are no lazy filters. You hold the keys, meaning the AI tries harder to solve complex problems without generic refusals. However, we have to talk about the risks. We call this the open door policy. Giving an AI terminal access is powerful, but dangerous. The analogy is giving a stranger the keys to your house to water your plants. Best case scenario, your plants get watered. Worst case, they steal your TV. Agency requires a high level of trust and vigilance. There are also specific technical risks. First, prompt injection. A malicious email could contain hidden text telling the agent to delete your files, and if the agent reads it, it might execute that command. Second, infinite loops. If the agent gets stuck talking to itself to solve a problem, your pay per thought costs can spike. You don't want to wake up to a $50 API bill. Here is the summary of this evolutionary leap. We are moving from the browser-based amnesiac reactive librarian to the local, persistent, proactive Butler. It is a move from a safe, sandboxed environment to a high-risk, high-reward reality. Ultimately, we are crossing a threshold. We are moving from tool to employee. We are no longer just using AI. We are learning to manage AI. Thank you for listening and watching.